All right, guys. So just a reviewed um, vocab for lesson 13.1, as I realized that I did not have four expressions in there. I don't think you guys have them on the actual piece of paper that I sent home, so maybe just add them at the bottom there. But you will need those expressions in order to complete some of the assignments for week 5. So again, I'm just going to go over these and point out a couple things, and then you'll be all set to go. All right, so to like, aimer. To phone or to call, téléphoner. Okay, so be sure to include the accent aigu on the first two E's. To talk or to speak, parler. And then in your textbook, if you were able to grab it, you would see like to speak French, to speak English, to speak Spanish. So you would combine those two. So parler français, parler anglais, and those two we've learned when we learned the nationalities. And then a new one, parler espagnol. To eat, manger. To sing, chanter. To dance, danser. Okay, so the most common mistake here is we forget to change the C to an S for the French version, and then chanter, to sing, the connection is chant. To swim, nager. To play, jouer. Okay, so this is a really funky one. It's a bunch of vowels sandwiched between two consonants. Okay, so just be careful. A lot of people tend to mix the order of the vowels. If you notice, all of these verbs, as I said in the first video, all of these verbs end in ER because they belong into the ER group of verbs. So you should know then that the last two letters at least have to be ER. So just try not to mix the O and the U. And again, in the textbook, it's combined. So to play tennis, jouer au tennis. To play volleyball, jouer au volley. You can also say au volleyball, that's okay. To play basketball, jouer au basket. If you want to say basketball, that's okay. And then to play soccer, jouer au foot or jouer au soccer. So the Europeans call soccer le foot. In Canada, they say soccer. So it's really up to you. However, I will say that jouer au foot is usually what you're going to come across in any types of assessments. So it's important to understand this one here. But if you yourself have to talk about playing soccer or write about it and you forget au foot, then it's okay to use au soccer. To watch, regarder. To watch the television, regarder la télé. And télé is a shorter version for télévision. So if you want to write it out, télévision, that's okay, or just shorten it. To listen to, écouter. The radio, la radio. To eat dinner or to eat out at a restaurant, dîner. Okay, notice the accent circonflexe on the I. At the restaurant, au restaurant. So the spelling of restaurant is exactly the same from English to French and vice versa. So that's what we call a cognate. But for some reason, restaurant or restaurant is a word that we tend to misspell a lot in English. So just be careful of that. To travel, voyager. Think about a voyage. To study, étudier. So make sure you have the accent aigu there. A common mistake is students tend to put an S there before the T because, like, I don't know, because it looks like to study, but just no S. Okay. To work. To work. Travailler. Okay, so that's a long one. Do not confuse to travel, voyager with travailler. I know they kind of look similar, and that's a common mistake that students tend to make. And then those few expressions that were not at the bottom of your vocab sheet or in the first video. Do you like? Est-ce que tu aimes? So if you were to translate that, it would be, is it that you like? Okay, obviously that's not how we ask questions in English, but that's translating it word for word. Is it that you like? Um, this is really annoying. I like. Oh, I like. J'aime. Okay, and that expression j'aime and also je n'aime pas are in that one of the assignments this next week. All right, so j'aime and then je n'aime pas. Notice that the only difference is that when we go negative, there's ne, which we drop the e here and replace it with an accent, with a apostrophe because there's another vowel following, and there's this rule in French that you're not really supposed to have two vowels following each other. So, and then, so ne and pas. So ne and pas are two little words that we need to make something negative. So we go from j'aime, I like, to je n'aime pas, I don't like. All right. And then I prefer, je préfère. So again, a cognate. Notice how there's the first E has an accent aigu, and then the second E has an accent grave. So it's all in the sound, right? Je préfère. So A. So accent aigu, accent grave. So that's it for this vocab. Just make sure that you have this handy to complete the activities that were assigned.